Hudson County View live and uncut, and I'm your host, the guy that lifts barbell plates, eats T-bone steaks, and still has a demeanor that's sweeter than a chocolate cake, John R. Heinis, and of course the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. So today we got a special episode, doubleheader if you will. We got two guests that I'm going to be sitting down with. First, I'm going to be speaking with Hoboken Second Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher, who just formally announced her run for mayor yesterday. And I'm also going to be sitting down with Jersey City Council at-large candidate Reverend Tami Weaver-Henry. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and I think this is going to become more regular as these June and November elections start heating up. Of course, beyond that, we had a lot of other things happening this week. So first of all, you saw that the Jersey City Board of Education approved a preliminary budget over $1 billion. And while it was initially touted as a 2% tax increase, it's actually pretty close to 20. And we heard from former Board of Ed President Musab Ali. Of course, he's running for mayor. And, we had some choice words. So very quickly, he said, "Last week, I had the opportunity to review the Jersey City Board of Education budget. While much attention has been given to the $4 million reduction in state aid, few have highlighted that the JCBOA has also lost an additional $98 million in equalization aid." So obviously, that's not something that a lot of people were speaking about, as he highlighted. And towards the end of his statement, he said, "What's more, almost no legislators have acknowledged that this budget will result in a $90 million tax increase for hardworking homeowners in Jersey City." Beyond that, we also heard a little bit out of North Hudson, specifically the town of Guttenberg. Mayor Wade Zitt and 3 council at-large members are going to be running unopposed. So Wade Zitt will be getting his 3rd term in this June 10th Democratic primary, and he's running alongside Rich De La Fuente, John Haberman, and Monica Fedora. And on top of that, this is the team that's supporting Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop for governor, as well as Hudson County Sheriff Frank Scileri for re-election. So an interesting electoral note there. And the last thing that I'll highlight today is Rob Menendez went after the GOP for their quote-unquote reckless attack on our judiciary. Of course, there's been a lot of talk about what's going to happen with the federal courts in the midst of these adverse decisions for the Trump administration. So that's one that's worth watching. I think he posted some clips on his social media. But with that, folks, we're going to jump right into these interviews right after this word from our sponsors. When I come back, I'll be sitting down with Hoboken Second Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View live and uncut. As I mentioned a few moments ago, I'm John Heinis, and I'm sitting today with Hoboken Second Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher, who just announced for mayor yesterday. Tiffanie, thank you for coming in.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. So, so obviously this is something that a lot of people were anticipating. Of course, you haven't been shy in saying that you're running, and we got a 5-person field for what is essentially an open seat. So tell me your thoughts on this.
Listen, first and foremost, the fact that voters have a choice on Election Day is great. Last time, as you know, our current mayor ran unopposed. I think people are pretty frustrated. And when you have that many people in the race, it's going to be, hopefully, it is going to be an election about policy. We're going to get to hear from every candidate in terms of what their vision is for the city, what their views are on certain things. Personally, I think I have a strong message. It has resonated with a lot of people. I get a tremendous amount of feedback. And I'm just excited to get out there and talk to voters about what's important to them and share, my views for the city.
All right, so obviously you know that it's a crowded field, as we just briefly touched on, and several of your colleagues are also in this race. So what makes you think that you're a cut above the rest here?
Sure. I think what differentiates me are three different things. First and foremost is my track record. I am the hardest working council member on the city council. I have a handprint on every major positive progress in the city of Hoboken. Second is my work experience. I had a 20+ year career as a manager, a leader in finance, real estate. All of those skills are directly relevant to managing a complex city like Hoboken and what the biggest issues that the city faces. And thirdly, quite frankly, is I'm not a transactional politician. Unlike and none of the people running against me can say that. They're all funded by special interests and developers. I have never, ever received any type of contribution from developers, special interests, won't do it again this time. Doesn't mean that I don't want to work with developers and people that want to do business with the city, but I certainly don't want to take money from them so it influences any kind of decision. So I think those three will set me apart from, the rest of the field.
Okay. Now, on that point, obviously, we spoke about 2 weeks ago about this opinion with NJELEC, New Jersey Election Law Enforcement Commission, and basically that was to see how the council accounts and the mayoral accounts could be combined or not, and when the donations could come in or not, in a few words. So any update on that, and why did you think that was important to get an opinion on for this race?
Yeah, so the answer is I don't have an update. I should actually get an update today. I believe that the opinion will come out and reinforce what the spirit of the state law is, which is to cap individual donations at $5,500 per person. The reason that we asked for it is, quite frankly, we have one council member that has raised a lot of money, which God bless him for being able to do that. Councilman Russo, he's raised $300,000. Almost all of it came from developers' large maximum dollar amounts, and he raised it underneath his city council campaign, but he's using it for the mayoral campaign. State law does not allow that. And then if he were to able to do it a second time and combine it, it ends up bringing the wrong type of influence into our local elections, exploiting a loophole that is inconsistent with state law. So it was kind of just, setting the record straight, making sure that we all understand what the rules are, and making sure everyone follows those rules. And my own personal opinion is that he is not following those rules.
All right, fair enough. Well, looking forward to hearing the resolution there one way or the other. Now, obviously, when you're looking at the comments and, of course, the backroom chatter, if you will, about this race, there's the most, I guess, prominent thing that I see about you and these Facebook, Twitter, Instagram comments is like, yeah, like she stood up to Ravi and his administration, but by the same token, there are people that take that and say, well, she just hates this administration and anything around it, so how is she going to actually work with people? So what do you think of that kind of assessment?
Yeah, so I have supported every good policy that's come out of this administration. I've been, I worked with this mayor on restructuring our water contracts, freeing up $30 million for the city. I've worked side by side with this mayor on rebuild by design every step of the way. I've worked with him on pedestrian improvements. I'm on the Vision Zero task force. So to say that I don't support, good policy, I don't work with the administration is wrong. I also, the administration isn't just this mayor, it's everyone within City Hall. I probably have the best relationship with people in City Hall, and I get more done for both the second ward and the city than any other council member, and it's because I work so closely with people and I work well with people. My criticism really for our current mayor is just how he's run the city. We're seeing it right now. My view has always been he's run it more from a campaign standpoint and chasing headlines as opposed to really just running the day-to-day operations of the city. And the great news is just by having a new mayor, when I'm mayor, is we have an opportunity to just run the city better, and it solves a lot of the issues that we're facing right now because the mayor is more focused on re-election than anything else.
All right, Councilwoman, good stuff. We're not done yet. Folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
That's a County View live and uncut. John Heinis, and I'm still here with Hoboken Second Ward Councilwoman Tiffanie Fisher, who is running for mayor. So speaking of campaigns, as you just noted on, we also are right in the thick of this June 10th primary in the 32nd Legislative District, of course, where we both live, is quite interesting, I think. We got 6 candidates, all that have their, name ID and fundraising capabilities, so it's going to be unlike any other race. Of course, there's no county line either. So where do you fall in all of that?
Well, first of all, I'm thrilled at the fact that we actually have a contested race. We have not had a contested race, in most of the legislative districts across the state because of the line for a number of years. So the fact that that is no longer there, people feel like they have the ability to run, is amazing. And again, voters will have a choice on election day. Listen, it's a complicated political race. And, like Hudson County only knows how to do.
Sure.
And what I would say is I'm excited about a couple of the candidates, less excited about some of the other candidates. And, we'll see how it goes. I did sign the petitions for Jenny Poo and Crystal Fonseca to get on the ballot, and was, happy to do that. I've met Katie Brennan. I clearly know our mayor. I don't know Jessica and Yusuf very well, but, excited to see kind of directionally where this goes.
Okay, fair enough. Now, so no endorsement for Mayor Bala today, huh?
No endorsement for Mayor Bala today.
Fair enough. Now, and probably not ever for any of the candidates, but we'll see. We got a little runway. Moving on, so the Garage B thing was a big topic, and it still is, right? I mean, they just had this RFP go out yesterday, and, you were pretty vocal. I mean, you did that letter to the editor, and your thoughts were, I thought, fairly clear during the meeting. It still passed 5-3, though, and, the beat goes on, despite what the planning board recommended. So any, I guess we'll call it closing thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, development in Hoboken is the biggest challenge and opportunity that we have. But when we spend a little time really thinking about what the needs of the city are, we have an opportunity to do it right. With that in particular, we have an opportunity to create a plan for that area. There's a number of sites that the city owns that has to be improved, and it would have been a better process had we worked on the entire area. And I'm notwithstanding, we didn't get a chance this time. I do think we're going to get a chance, because even though it's moving forward at a rapid pace, I believe there's a 0% chance that project gets done. And the main reason for that right now is because parking is a real issue in Hoboken. There's 800 plus parking spaces that are heavily utilized there. There's, the mayor is putting up a process to redevelop the hospital and the garage in Midtown. That's an 850 more spaces. So you're talking about almost, and our 916 Garden parking garage has 300 parking spaces that just is taken out of commission. So you're literally talking about 2,000 municipal parking spaces that this administration is talking about pulling out of commission and has a 0% chance of actually happening. So,
all right, well, fair enough. Now, when we're talking about that and some of the things you mentioned earlier about like your relationship with the development community, some people think you're anti-development, and there's actually a tweet this morning, I don't know if you caught, but it said something to the effect of, Tiffanie Fisher's a non-starter for me because she wants to turn Hoboken into Parsippany. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I guess I could glean that some people think you're anti-development. So what would Hoboken smart development look like under your administration?
Listen, smart development looks like what happened in the North End and what's happening in the North End. So in the North End, we spent 2 years putting in a community-driven plan that had increased heights that we haven't seen in Hoboken, but we made sure that we had open space. We made sure the developers are paying community benefits, contributing to the infrastructure upgrades, and they're contributing to putting in a new light rail on the North End of Hoboken. In addition to that, they're going to build us a new municipal garage. They're going to build us space for a new library. They're going to build us space, just general space for municipal purposes, and space for a permanent pickleball club, on a ground floor. So, and they're building to plan. right? We put a plan in place and we have developers that are funding what the city needs. That's what smart development looks like. And it's a partnership with our development community. It's a partnership just with the members of our community to be able to have improvements within Hoboken, but make sure that that all of our needs are addressed in the process. That's smart development.
All right, and very quickly, if you could.
One more thing, just quickly, and that I had my handprint all over that. I've been on the North End Community Development Plan for the last 8 years, and I was a main driver to how that plan got built. So that's not speculation. I was at the table every step of the way directing where we were going to go and the outcome of that plan and the development in the North End.
And just, if you could, what's going on with the reinstatement of former Fire Chief Brian Crimmins?
No idea. Literally no idea. We're watching it not from afar. We're seeing exactly what the public is seeing. We're seeing that multiple decisions have been made to reinstate him. We're seeing some of the firefighters are putting in their notice to retire. It was their time, but some of the controversy around it seems to be evolving, but I honestly don't know where it's going to land.
Fair enough. Councilwoman, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. When I come back, I'll be sitting down with Jersey City Council at-large candidate, Reverend Tami Weaver-Henry. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Heinis, and now I am joined with Jersey City Council at-large candidate, Reverend Tami Weaver-Henry. Reverend, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So, it looks like you've had a pretty interesting career here in Jersey City, right? Both as the chair of this fairly new Women's Advisory Board, been a couple years, and then also you're the chair plate of the Jersey City Police Department's West District. And, of course, you've been involved with the community in other ways. I'll let you speak for yourself on that. But between all those things, what led you to decide, hey, I want to be a citywide representative on this council?
Oh, wow, that's a loaded question, and there's a plethora of reasons, but I'll start with the most important and most pressing. As the chair of the Jersey City Women's Advisory Board, last year we prepared a resolution. We worked on it for 2 long years. Nights and weekends we dedicated to bring forth CEDAW. It's the Convention to Eliminate Discrimination Against Women. And we worked on it, and once the legal department finally gave us the green light to go forward and we had to bring it before certain city officials, it was made known very quickly that we could write resolution, but there was no power behind it. And so what we did as women, because it was trying to be hijacked, we partnered with the sitting 4 women municipal council members. And once we got them on board, now it's a legal document. And we realized we weren't going to stop there. We were going to go forth with the ordinance. But I realized I needed to be sitting in that particular seat to really affect change for the women of Jersey City. Because if you look at domestic violence alone, over the last couple of years for women, being the chaplain of the police department, we're in a different hat now, I am front row center when things take place. And so I know that we need to put certain protections in place for these women. And if I need to be sitting in that particular seat to get the job done, I fully intend to do that.
All right, fair enough. Now, on the more political side, of course, it's an election, right? And you're going to have 15 or possibly more if there's independents running. Right now, we have 11 declared candidates at large. There's 3 seats. Obviously, you think you match up well, or you wouldn't have announced. But, when you're doing the math, what do you think about all that kind of stuff?
Well, the math is the math. What I can say is I think that I am uniquely qualified for this position. And so I am laser focused on what I'm bringing to the table. As a council member at large, I know that I have literally worn several hats in Jersey City that would be so useful in Jersey City alone. And so I was on the Jersey City Employment and Training Board, but I was also once a recipient of the Jersey City Employment Training Program. I was on the environmental board. I was a commissioner for Jersey City. I resigned there to go to the chair for the Jersey City Women's Advisory Board, chaplain for the Jersey City Police Department, pastor in Jersey City. I am also a small business owner. Wait, I think the IRS said I'm no longer small, but I'm a business owner, 17 years in May.
Okay, congrats.
Home health care, thank you. My own, very own, started 17 years ago. And so I literally can sit down and have the compassion to listen to the residents of Jersey City and understand the complexities that they're currently facing in Jersey City. And so, although there are a number of candidates, that have thrown their hats in the ring, kudos to them, but I am laser focused on what I can do for the city.
All right, sounds like you're feeling pretty confident and with decent reasons. So with that, I guess when you're looking at some of the legislative actions of this administration, what do you think has been particularly good, and what do you think could use some improvement, or maybe just needs to come to the forefront, or maybe hasn't happened yet?
Well, there's a lot. Again, loaded question. I think the very first thing that the community, because I like to listen to the voices of the community, affordable housing.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably on the forefront for everyone. Born and raised in Jersey City all my life, and I have family members that are no longer in Jersey City because they can't afford to live here anymore. As a chair of the Women's Advisory Board, we listen to women. Our mission is to provide every single woman in Jersey City a seat at the table. I'm sitting across the table from women that said that they're one phone call away from being homeless, a half a month's rent from being homeless. So these things are near and dear to my heart, and so I want to start there. Obviously, public safety, right? And so, again, uniquely experienced, and I believe uniquely qualified. As a police chaplain in Jersey City, I've had the opportunity to be a part of a lot of the training that the police officers have gone through. De-escalation training, I'm certified. There is disaster training, I'm certified. There's so many, active shooter, I'm certified. Like, these are all these things I actually bring to the table. And so I just believe that community policing should be something that's at the forefront. Whenever we have any decision that is made for the police department, the community should be at the table. And so I believe myself, and others would be able to make that happen in Jersey City.
All right, that's a pretty clear vision, I think. But don't go anywhere, folks. We're just going to take a quick break. Rev, don't go anywhere either. We'll be right back.
Yep.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View Live and Uncut. John Heinis, and I'm still here with Jersey City Council at Large candidate, Reverend Tami Weaver-Henry. So you were just talking a lot about public safety and the police, community policing, and I think you, again, put a pretty succinct vision there. But I just quickly, you remember at the last council meeting, there was a vote of no confidence against the public safety director, passed 6-3. So if you were sitting on the dais, do you think that would have been the right move, something you would have supported, or?
Honestly, I don't think I'm qualified to answer that question. I honestly don't even understand yet what that means. Vote of no confidence. What's the next step on that? And so I never want to answer a question that is not just and answer correctly. So I'm going to just say that at this point in time, the fact that the community wants to be at the table, they want transparency across the board with police department, with the community, I'm all for that. So the vote of no confidence, I can't speak to that.
All right, simple enough. Now, on your point about more community-oriented policing, the Arrive Together grant from the State Attorney General's office came a few months ago, I guess, and it's still in the implementation phases. So if you were part of the council, like, how would you make this a smooth transition, number one, and number two, like, what would you like to see come out of this program?
Well, thank you for that question. I was actually at a few of the meetings for the Arrive Together program, again, because I'm the chaplain for the police department.
Yeah.
And what I would love to see is that they are able to give Jersey City more days. Right now, it's not a full slate, and it's not an all-day schedule. People don't schedule mental health breaks,
Sure.
right? So obviously, we would like to see, the Attorney General's office really dedicate more time and more resources into that program for Jersey City, number one. And number two, I just feel that, again, I was at the table. A few of the residents of Jersey City was at the table, but I believe it would benefit from having meetings like that televised, so that everyone in Jersey City would be able to be at the table.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome, in my opinion, just to see every, whether it's a press conference or public session, like you mentioned, council meeting. It would be great if that was all streamed live.
Yeah.
But with that said, let's talk a little bit also about like violent crime on the South Side. Of course, this is a topic that's been talked about for decades, right? But you've seen so much of this firsthand. Homicides in recent years are down, which is great, but there's still shootings and stabbings and things like that happen on a pretty regular week-to-week basis. I think you can attest to. So what do you think about how we could reduce those numbers further still?
This is very near and dear to me. 2021, I lost my stepdaughter to street violence, gun violence.
I was unaware. Very sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's very personal to me. And so what I feel, and it was on my watch as a chaplain for the police department. And so I'll never forget that day. We were going to have brunch with just my daughters and my husband. And there was a neighbor that said someone was just killed. I said to my daughters, we need to leave to go to brunch because they're going to call me in as a chaplain. And sure enough, Director Moody, she called me and she said, we need you on the scene. And I said, I never say no. And I'm not saying no, but today, please permit me to go and have this time with my family. And I did that. And I'm so happy I did. When I came back, I reported to the scene. And so probably the next evening, my daughter was walking past the vigil for this individual whose family I had just prayed with. I held their hands. And so she was killed, innocent bystander. And so this is where we are today, right? And so what I would say is right now in Jersey City, there are a number of programs and grassroots nonprofits that are out there fighting the good fight for crime and really trying to minimize crime in Jersey City. And so I've always been told that there's a tale of two cities. Never really understood it until then when my daughter was killed. And so what I would say as a councilwoman, I want to bring these different programs to the table with the police department, with the community. Let's have a sit down on how we can help these at-risk youth because people say that they're underprivileged. I don't believe in underprivileged. I believe in undereducated. Give them something else to focus on rather than joining gangs and being on the street corners or doing other things that are going to get them in trouble. So again, my stance on violence south of the city is very, very personal. And I know that once we bring different individuals to the table, they're going to be willing to talk because the temperatures have changed in Jersey City. And
Sure.
right now, so many are willing to come to the table and talk it out and hash it out. And I believe if you have a sound mind at that table, there is really no stopping to what we can accomplish together in this city. Yep.
All right, Rev, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, what I will say to the residents of Jersey City is that I have been fighting all of my life. At the age of 18, I had to literally adopt 2 of my mother's children and raise them as my own, in addition to my 1 child that I had. And so I've gotten to where I am today as an individual because I never back down from a fight. I never accept when someone tells me what I cannot do. I usually prove to them what I can do. And what I want to say to Jersey City is, if they give me the opportunity, I will prove to them that I will fight for them and I will never back down for anything they bring to my table and that seat.
Trevor, thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We're actually done for the week. Time flies when you're having fun. We'll catch you next time.